Alright everybody, Phil the Kaiju King back again. My kaiju friends and fans. Let's take a quick look at this fella. It's the 30 centimeter Godzilla. I'm sorry, Anguirus 1955 by xplus. I had this figure previous. Had to sell it, so this is a recollection video, a dedicated video just to Anguirus, because the video I done I think was on both of them, him and the Godzilla, in my archives. But I'm doing I did a video on the 55 Godzilla a few weeks ago. Grabbed it, both of them together. Well, not together, but around the same time. And I thought I'd do a video here on Anguirus to complete this here set. Of course, Anguirus in the 1955 movie Godzilla Raids Again. Black and white movie. Of course, this figure's monotone, black and white, so to me it's fitting. I wouldn't mind them going back and re-releasing this with a colored version and the 55 Godzilla. It wouldn't bother me one bit. I think it would be cool to do that. They colorized some, did some poster color figures recent, you know, with the Destroyer and the a classic color 62 Godzilla 25 centimeter, which I'll do as a comparison with this guy. But I think it would be cool to re-release some of this older stuff. Just same old, just colorize them. Be kind of cool, I thought. It'd be neat. Or battle color or something, you know. Put some color on them. But the monotone of this and the 55 is apropos for the movie, I thought. Anguirus, the significance of Anguirus is he's the first kaiju that Godzilla fights in the Godzilla movie franchise film history. And it was prevalent fight other kaiju all the way through 75. Then 9 years later in the Heisei, that 84, he did not fight a kaiju, but then it turned right back around after that for the rest of Heisei and the rest of Millennium that he was fighting other kaiju, at least one, not multiple. So that's the significance of Anguirus. He'll always be special to me in that regard. If he was the first Godzilla versus kaiju monster that was introduced into the Godzilla franchise, which is really cool for Anguirus to own that. No other monster can own that but Anguirus. God bless you, Anguirus. And then he went on to become Godzilla's big buddy, you know, and all that in the later movies. Tag team partner, so to speak. But I really like Anguirus. I like the monster and design. One of these days I'll grab another Showa era. I think it's a 68 Anguirus. I had to sell it too. I want to try to grab one of those again eventually. It would be cool to have him again. But I've been doing recollecting along with the other collecting. Pretty cool. Let's take a quick look at this feller. Got a very long tail. Very, very long. You can see the nice section parts of the tail. Kind of goes back and curls off to his right. The spikes start on the tail, of course. The body scheme is the gray color with all grayish tones on the paint scheme on the skin of Anguirus, on the body, on the shell, on the spikes. It's all gray tones. Dark gray for the skin, lighter gray for the spikes and the shell spikes and stuff. Nice sculpted skin textures here on the legs and on the midsection of Anguirus. Toenails are bone white. Same with the hand claws, bone white. Nice sculpting of the skin up there on the arms. A little bit of suit wrinkling in the arms as well. Looks nice to see that always, suit wrinkling. They capture that suit, man in suit really well. There's the nice shell with the spikes all over. Here on his head, of course, the crown of spikes on the back of his head there. Horn on his nose. Eyes are white with a black pupil. Kind of looking up. Very deep eyebrow ridge on that Anguirus 55. Teeth individually sculpted inside the mouth. Looks really good. The 68 is crawling version Anguirus, which is fine. But this one did stand up a lot like this to fight Godzilla in the 55. So makes sense that it's like this. Very cool Anguirus figure here. If you don't have one, I would suggest get one. They're really, really neatly done figures by xplus. We'll move on to those comparisons here, and let's do that now. All right, everybody, here's the Godzilla 1955 classic color version, 25 centimeter. It was a xplus North America exclusive, probably toward the beginning of the year, something like that. All right, we'll bring in the 55 Godzilla. Let's do that now. All right, everybody, here's the battle. Anguirus, Godzilla, fight to the death. They scale real well together, I thought. All right, I'll move on to some final thoughts. Let's do that now. All right, everyone, xplus 30 centimeter series, Anguirus, 1955, from the movie Godzilla Raids Again. The first monster of many that Godzilla fights throughout the Godzilla franchise. That's why Anguirus will always be special to me. He was the first versus monster against Godzilla. And that's just pretty cool for Anguirus to own that title, in my opinion. Pretty cool figure here. Older figure, too. I don't know if it's got a date on his foot or not. 2014, it says on his foot right there. So he's a pretty old figure. Still really nice, though. All right, everybody, I'll close out this video. I want to thank everyone who tunes in. This is Philly Kaiju King. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll talk again soon.